In this video, I'm going to make a lounger from a single 2x6. I started by cutting three 3/4 inch strips from the 2x6. These three strips are going to make the frame of the lounger. Two of the strips will make the outside walls, and one of the strips will make the bottom brace. I'm not going to go into much detail of the measurements right now, but you'll see in a minute how I divided up each strip. This first strip is the bottom brace, and all the pieces are cut to 90 degrees. The next two strips make up the sides of the lounger. All those pieces are cut at 30 degrees, except for the 15.5 inch piece on the end. Those are cut at 60 degrees. Now I have to cut all the joints to put together the frame. I made mostly bridle joints with a few half laps to put everything together. This isn't the whole glue up, but to continue I had to glue up the sides of the lounger. I don't really like the look of dowels, but to lock the bridle joints in place, I didn't really have a choice. Next, I cleaned up all the joints with a chisel before cutting a rabbet along the inside edge of all the side pieces to hold the slats. I have the two sides of the frame done. This is what they look like. All I have to do now is glue in the bottom brace pieces and the frame will be done. In case you're still wondering where each of the frame pieces I cut in the beginning went, here are the dimensions. Next, I could work on making the slats of the lounger, and I still had about 3 inches of width on my 2x6. I cut what was left of the 2x6 into 6 16-inch sections at the miter saw. I took those 6 sections and resawed them into 1/4-inch boards at the table saw. Each section made 4 1/4-inch boards, so I ended up with 24 3-inch wide boards. Next, I made a very small chamfer on the edges just so I can distinguish the individual pieces when I have them glued on the lounger. And now I can finally glue all the slats onto the frame. I should also point out I ended up with 2 extra slats, and instead of wasting them, I cut the rabbet a little deeper in the seat, where most of my weight would be, to reinforce the seat. I did some final sanding with 220 and then finished everything with amber shellac. And now the final test, I sat in the lounger to prove that it won't just fall apart. I was actually pretty surprised with how easily it held. I was afraid that the 1/4-inch slats would not be strong enough, but with the reinforced seat and the fact that my weight is not all on one slat at any given time, it held up very well. I would say the biggest problem was more with the legs. Since they go out in an angle, they tend to pull away from each other when there's weight on the chair. Luckily, the bottom brace keeps that in check.